The venue was America's Islamic Heritage Museum, an institution that opened its doors to the public last year here in the nation's capital. It was a fitting place for an iftar meal. Most Americans, even many Muslims, know next to nothing about the role Muslims have played in the country's history.
It shows that Muslims are a part of the American fabric, been a part of the American fabric for years, for centuries. The exhibit dates back to the earliest one is in 1539, with a Muslim who discovered Arizona and New Mexico. We find Muslims that fought in the Revolutionary War. We found the first Hafiz writing an article in 1730. The first Muslim political activity was done in 1753. We find, in the museum, they'll find Muslims fought in World War I, World War II, the Civil War, towns with the name Mohammad, Texas, Mohammad, Illinois, Mecca, Indiana. You find Muslim personalities. You'll find early Arabic writings in America dating back as early as 1768.
The summer days are long here in Washington, and the faithful were only called around 8:30 in the evening to break their fast with dates. Then they joined in the Maghrib prayer. This was followed by a potluck dinner made up of dishes brought by guests to share. Most of the Muslims in America have converted from other religions, mainly Christianity, the dominant faith here. They often say Islam has enriched their lives.
You know, Ramadan, I get excited every year. It's just a chance to get closer to God and really learn patience and perseverance and again, just enforcing that feeling of being a good person. I converted in 2007, and for me, becoming a Muslim has really just given me, I guess, a sense of peace. It's really changed how I view the world, how I interact with people on a daily basis. It's just a religion that makes sense to me, and I feel has made me a better person.
The history of Islam in America is closely intertwined with the history of the country's African American population. Their ancestors were brought to America as slaves, where they lost their languages, cultures, and religions, including Islam. Today, the majority of Muslims here are African Americans, who have seen in Islam a universal religion that treats people of all colors and races equally.
I'm a revert to Islam. We did a study on my father's genes, and we found that his genes go back to Qatar, and Qatar is an Islamic country. So, and we know from the history that many of the slaves who came here were Muslim, and it's Islam, the fullness of it is helping us to come back to where we started, and then to grow from that.
It's clear to us and everyone else that Muslims in America are just like any other Muslims universally, the world over. Ramadan connects all believing Muslims.
Members of the African American Women's Organization that sponsored tonight's Iftar say Islam is a central part of their lives, and Ramadan is a time for them to renew their faith. In fact, they say as descendants of slaves who were torn from their homeland in Africa, reverting to Islam, as they put it, is a way for them to reclaim their own history. Burton Bolag, KSA2, Washington.